In this episode 15 of the History of Fan Anime Redrafted, we will examine the emergence and impact of Japanese music CDs in North American anime fandom during the late 1980s and 1990s. Host William Chow provides analysis of the music market dynamics, regional distribution challenges, and the rise of alternative distribution channels that shaped early anime music accessibility. Japanese music, particularly anime soundtracks and popular music of the era, represented one of the more universally accessible aspects of anime culture. Unlike video content that required subtitles or dubbing, music could be appreciated regardless of language barriers. The musical trends of the late 1980s and 1990s frequently crossed over between mainstream Japanese popular music and anime soundtracks, creating opportunities for fans to explore broader musical landscapes beyond specific series. Soundtracks and instrumental pieces proved particularly accessible to international audiences, serving various purposes from ambient listening to exercise music. While some contemporary releases included karaoke tracks and translation materials, these features were not essential for musical enjoyment. The host notes that during the period under examination, such supplementary materials were often unavailable, requiring fans to appreciate the music purely on its sonic merits. The acquisition of Japanese music CDs in North America during the late 1980s and early 1990s presented significant logistical challenges. Without high-speed internet connectivity, digital music distribution remained impractical. File-sharing services like Napster had limited effectiveness for anime music due to small user bases and scarce content availability. The niche nature of anime fandom further complicated matters, as relatively few collectors possessed the materials necessary for sharing. Physical CD importation emerged as the primary acquisition method. Japanese CDs featured standardized catalog numbers that enabled bookstores and specialty retailers to place direct orders. However, the economic barrier proved substantial, with typical single-disc releases priced at 3,000 yen, approximately $30 and double-disc sets reaching 4,000 to 4,500 yen. The significant price differential between Japanese domestic releases and production costs created conditions conducive to alternative distribution channels. When legitimate CDs cost substantially more in Japan than consumers expected to pay in other markets, entrepreneurial opportunities emerged in regions with lower labor costs and different economic conditions. This phenomenon occurred during the pre-Amazon, pre-eBay era when global e-commerce remained in its infancy. The concept of cross-border consumer goods movement was still evolving, with traditional thinking maintaining that products should remain within their intended domestic markets. However, population migration and the emerging global economy began to challenge these assumptions. Vancouver's substantial Asian population, particularly in areas like Chinatown and Richmond, created demand for Japanese cultural products. This demographic shift, influenced by various historical factors including wartime displacement and ongoing immigration patterns, established a market for Japanese music imports that extended beyond the traditional Japanese expatriate community. The host provides specific examples of how regional licensing created opportunities for cost-conscious consumers. He cites owning both Japanese original and Hong Kong Polydor releases of music by Anzan Chitai, performers of themes for series including Maison Ikkoku. The Hong Kong version, legitimately licensed for that market, sold for significantly less than the Japanese original while maintaining identical audio content. Similar patterns emerged in mainland China, where government efforts to combat unauthorized music distribution led to official licensing arrangements with major retailers. During a 2004 visit to Shenyang, China, the host observed licensed versions of popular artists like Ayumi Hamasaki available in stores like Walmart for approximately 20 yuan, roughly $3 compared to 3,000 yen, $30 for identical content in Japan. These regional price variations reflected different economic conditions and purchasing power rather than differences in production quality or licensing legitimacy. However, the global economy's emergence enabled consumers to seek the most economical versions of desired products, regardless of intended geographic distribution. The Taiwan-based company Sun Mei emerged as a significant player in this alternative distribution landscape. Sanmei produced extensive catalogs of anime and game music CDs that closely replicated Japanese releases in terms of content, artwork, and packaging quality. The primary differences lay in catalog numbering systems and significantly reduced pricing, with Sanmei releases typically selling for $8 compared to $30 for Japanese originals. The company's initial catalog encompassed approximately 400 titles covering a broad spectrum of popular anime series. This selection reflected market demand and included works by renowned composers like Joe Hisaishi, Studio Ghibli Films, series soundtracks from Macross, Dragon Ball, Ranma 1/2, and numerous other titles that had gained popularity in international markets. Sanmei subsequently expanded into gaming music with dedicated catalogs covering soundtracks from Final Fantasy, Street Fighter, Tekken, and other popular video game franchises. Later product lines included voice actor, seiyuu, albums and music from dating simulation games, demonstrating the company's responsiveness to evolving fan interests. Sanmei CDs gained widespread availability through Asian import retailers in North American cities with substantial Asian populations. In Vancouver, multiple stores in both the downtown Chinatown district and Richmond's newer Asian commercial areas stocked these releases. The pricing structure, typically ranging from $10 to $20 for multi-disc sets, aligned more closely with North American consumer expectations for CD pricing. This distribution model proved successful during anime's growth period, as the products offered genuine musical content at accessible price points. The economic model enabled retailers to order products by the case while maintaining reasonable profit margins and competitive consumer pricing. Sanmei's success reflected several converging factors: significant price disparities between regional markets, growing international interest in Japanese popular culture, demographic changes in major North American cities, and the limitations of pre-internet distribution systems. The company's catalog selection served as an informal barometer of anime popularity, as commercially viable titles presumably reflected genuine market demand. The host's decision to acquire both original Japanese versions of highly desired releases and Sanmei versions of less essential titles demonstrates the pragmatic approach many collectors adopted. This dual acquisition strategy balanced authenticity concerns with economic realities, allowing fans to build comprehensive collections while managing costs. From an audio quality perspective, the host's analysis suggests that Sanmei releases maintained fidelity to their source material. The company's attention to packaging details, including reproduction of liner notes and artwork, indicated a focus on providing authentic musical experiences rather than merely capitalizing on price arbitrage opportunities. The breadth of Sanmei's catalog also provided educational value for fans seeking to explore Japanese musical trends. By offering affordable access to soundtracks spanning multiple genres and time periods, these releases enabled listeners to develop broader appreciation for Japanese musical composition and production techniques. The episode concludes with the host's intention to provide detailed reviews of individual CDs from the Sanmei catalog, having personally auditioned approximately 200 titles during his retail operations. These planned reviews aim to offer guidance for fans seeking to explore anime music, with recommendations tailored to specific musical preferences and cross-references between related soundtracks. The host advocates for this educational approach to music discovery, drawing parallels to how experienced fans guide newcomers toward appropriate anime series based on their interests. By identifying musical connections between series, such as the violin arrangements linking Gundam Seed to Double Zeta Gundam, these reviews could serve as a roadmap for expanding musical appreciation within the anime community. This episode represents a comprehensive examination of how economic, technological, and cultural factors intersected to shape anime music accessibility during a crucial period in fandom development. The Sanmei phenomenon exemplifies how alternative distribution channels emerged to meet genuine market needs when traditional systems proved inadequate or prohibitively expensive for growing international fan communities.
Your engagement with our content is invaluable. We encourage you to interact with our videos through likes and comments, as these actions significantly enhance our visibility on the platform, allowing us to reach a broader audience interested in the cultural impact of anime in the Western world. For those interested in supporting our research and production efforts, we have established various channels for financial contribution. Detailed information about these support options can be found in the video description below. To complement your viewing experience, we have compiled an extensive list of resources related to this documentary series, including a comprehensive episode guide categorized by topic. These materials are accessible via the links provided in the description. We also have Patreon featuring exclusive content and behind-the-scenes insights. This resource offers additional materials that enhance our documentary series, including extended interviews, archival footage, controversial content, and in-depth analyses. Furthermore, we regularly update our blog with supplementary information, addressing frequently asked questions, sharing historical anecdotes, and showcasing visual artifacts and personal stories on the website via the links provided below.